Hunters, welcome back to another Flush 'em and Dust 'em podcast. Tonight we have Jamie and Nick. Is that correct? Nate. I knew it was Nick or Nate. They're on Instagram as Cranbrook Oaks AWS. So the AWS stands for American Water Spaniel. So definitely be sure to go check them out. Super excited to have both of them on. We haven't had an episode reference the American Water Spaniel breed, so we're really excited to learn about them. So if you guys could give us a rundown, give some background.
Sure. So obviously I'm Jamie, married to this guy next to me. I'm actually originally from South Dakota, but came up to the Twin Cities to play college hockey and stuck around, and I'm a nurse practitioner full time. So that's my day job. And then met this guy.
Yeah,
better watch out, Nate. She'll fucking check you in the boards if you're not if you don't behave.
She's done it a time or two for sure already. She doesn't let me get away with much. But I'm originally from Wisconsin, the northwest portion of Wisconsin, small town, born and raised. Work kind of brought me down to the cities, and that's kind of where I met her.
Did you meet her at a hockky game while she was playing?
No.
I would have been too scared to talk to her.
We met out one night.
Nice.
Yes. And
That's how it works.
We did talk hockey, and then we talked a little bit of hunting and whatever. But being she's from South Dakota, I'm from Wisconsin. So it's fun, But I'm a chef in the cities here.
Oh, nice.
So I do a lot of cooking, and it's a lot of fun. So she gets to fix people or fix me if I get hurt, and I get to cook for dinner.
Nice.
I'll have to have you back on and do an episode of recipes that you do for game birds.
I'm working on a few here and there. So
heck yeah,
it's fun. It's fun.
That sounds awesome. So you guys are running two American Water Spaniels, Winnie and Rhett. Give us a rundown of that breed and what drew you to them.
You want to start or me?
You can start.
All right. Well, what really drew us was the versatility of them. When we started looking for dogs after we got married, we kind of wanted a hunting dog, but we didn't want a huge hunting dog or a bigger breed. Because we live in a metro area. We're in the northeast metro of Minneapolis, St. Paul. So we wanted something that, if we didn't have time, would fit and be compatible on our lot size that we have in our back, which is just under an acre, but it's still, in a metro area. So we didn't feel it was fair to a bigger breed to run as much as they should. So, we wanted the versatility of a hunting dog because we like to hunt. So I grew up hunting, grouse in Wisconsin. I'm a big game hunter in Wisconsin, so deer. But we wanted something that could, do pheasant or ducks in South Dakota from where she's from. So we kind of just got, did our due diligence here. We looked at springers, we looked at boykins, and we kind of settled on, not settled, but we decided on the American Water Spaniel, which happens to be the state dog of Wisconsin. And, they're a little bit bigger.
And how big is that dog? How much does it weigh?
So Rhett, our male, weighs about 44. His, that's his hunting weight. Right now he weighs about 44 and a half. When he's not running, he gets up to, 48, 49. My sister, who's a vet, says he's fat. And Winnie runs at about 30. So
geez, big difference.
Yeah. And I mean, she's lean right now because we've had 2 or 3 hunting trips with them. So, she, at the start of the year, she's probably at 34, 35, but then she's leaned down because we've had, we've hunted a number of days already. So
nice.
Yeah.
How old are they?
Winnie is 3
and a half.
Yeah,
she'll be 4 in May.
And Rhett is about
he'll be 3 in April.
3 in April. Yeah.
Nice. Are you guys planning on breeding or
Yeah, that was, I mean, truthfully, this kind of turned into a spiral effect for us. I mean, like he said, we got married, we wanted a dog, and then it spiraled into getting a dog. And then it was like, this is pretty cool. And then we got another dog. And then everyone was kind of talking about breeding them because American Water Spaniels are pretty rare.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of them. You don't see a lot of them out of the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so we kind of have been encouraged to look at it. And so we've been doing our due diligence and research and doing the OFAs and the eye tests and everything. And so far, everything's checked out on both dogs. And so our hope is to breed them. We would like to. We think it'd be an interesting pairing between the two of them. But again, we want to make sure we're, keeping the good bloodlines alive. And if there's any problems, to not move forward. But that's our plan.
Yeah, and we find it would be an interesting pairing based on their tendencies when they hunt, which is Rhett's more wide open and he'll run and run and run and run, and then he'll sit down and observe. And Winnie is slower, more methodical, and uses her nose a lot more. So I feel like when we're pheasant hunting, Rhett stumbles across birds. If you want to say that, he kind of just runs. It's go or nothing for him, really. And Winnie, she uses her nose, and when she starts to get really birdie, she starts to oink. When she's breathing, it sounds like she's oinking like a little pig, and her tail and her butt start to wiggle really a lot. And then she'll pounce to flush the bird when she finds it. So it's cool. Fun. Yeah, it's fun to watch their tendencies. And Rhett, he's starting to figure it out this year. It took Winnie probably into her second season to figure out her nose, and Rhett's starting to figure it out this year too. But he's definitely more of our laid back / go dog. So he goes, but then he's laid back. So we plan on using him more for our waterfowl hunts and stuff, because that's more his bloodlines from what they did with the water spaniels, his mom and dad. So
nice. Do you guys how much of each do you do of waterfowl and upland? Is it a pretty even mix, or?
It's more upland right now, just for the basis of time issues and stuff. We just don't have time to get out and scout as much as we would like to and figure.
Did you go out to South Dakota, or do you still go out to South Dakota?
Yep.
Go out there quite a bit. I actually just went on my first waterfowl hunt. I had never done it before. We went out to South Dakota a couple weekends ago and brought our 2 spaniels. Mostly ran Rhett just because of his training and ability. But I had a blast. So now I'm addicted. Now I want to do it more.
I was going to ask you what you thought of it after your first time.
It's pretty amazing to see a lot of birds. I waterfowl hunted when I was younger and stuff, but we don't get to see the numbers you do out there. So when you get to see a flock of 200 mallards coming in the land into a feed field, it's something else, and to sit there and I was kind of in awe because it was his first waterfowl hunt. So I wasn't running a gun. I was just, I was running him just to make sure everything was good and everything, because we had the opportunity to do that. Normally we probably wouldn't. We'd push the limits a little bit, but we had the opportunity to where we didn't both have to carry a gun. So I was running him, and it was fun just to sit there and watch him and watch the ducks and just watch him figure out that I can't move and just watch him watch all the different, birds flying.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys running upland and waterfowl. What type of training are you doing for your dogs to run the differences?
Yeah. So, being us full-time jobs, really, we did send both our dogs out to professional trainers to get foundation, bird dog intro, to really focus in on that, because truthfully, we didn't have the time for it. And if we wanted the caliber of dog that we were looking for, that's what we needed to do.
The same thing with my lab. I sent them away. I just 2 kids and stuff. It's too tough.
It's hard.
It's hard to send them away, but knowing what they're doing and what they're getting out of it, it only benefits us too. So it's worth it for sure.
But
you could definitely train them, but it'd be a super long process. Cause like for me, it'd be 2, maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah.
instead of every day repetition. Yep.
Yep. And when they come back, we get our things to work on, our exercises. And so, we're doing right now, our big thing with Rhett right now is working on whistle, sit at a distance, getting him focused on handling at a distance. And, it's interesting because I think you see it a lot in waterfowl with blind retrieves. We actually have found it really helpful in upland field. So for example, this last time we were in South Dakota, him and I pretty much spread out and our dogs run the line. But if say a bird goes down and I need to get one of our dogs over there, he can whistle sit Rhett and point him over in my direction and he'll come on over. So it's nice to have it in the upland too. And I don't know if a lot of people utilize it a lot, but I see it a lot in waterfowl.
Yeah.
So Diesel he'll do the same thing. I can sit him and give him hand signals. I've only had to use it once. In the 7 years I've had him, bird went over the fence and I had to get him through a fence, and I was able to cast him to it. And that was the only time I had to ever use it.
I find that a lot of the times it's not needed as much as you would think it would. And that's my opinion. I mean, like I've said, we've only waterfowl hunted once or twice with them now, and we didn't need them, but it's definitely utilized. We use it more in the upland field, and it's paid off drastically for us there. So we're happy that they can do it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you how do they handle have you hunted big water or anything with them with their size, or they handle ducks pretty well?
Yeah, so Rhett handled, Winnie can too. We've had so up here in Minnesota there's a thing, it's a outdoor game fair. It's called Game Fair USA or something. Yeah, and it's in August, and they have all these different dog stuff. And we ran Winnie, and she did a full-size mallard, and they've both done hunt tests and passed. They're both almost done with their started on the UKC side. So we plan on hitting that. COVID kind of slowed everything down that way with this kind of stuff that we had planned. But we look forward to this next summer to really kind of hit that. And we find it interesting to do that. It gets us out training, and it helps with our training, and it forces us to give them time because we want them to succeed as much as we want to succeed with them.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it really, doing hunt tests helps, and they both have done that, and they've used full-size mallards for that, and they don't seem to have a problem. Now we haven't got on geese yet, and I've seen, so Rhett's dad he's originally, his bloodlines are from Kentucky, and they do a lot of goose hunting, late season goose hunting down there, and his dad is a phenomenal, he just passed away, got hit by a car, I think.
Oh geez.
It was but he was a phenomenal goose dog.
Nice.
So that's, in Rhett is technically on the bigger side of the breed standard.
Yeah. It's all about that heart that they have, man.
Yeah.
They want to pick it up. They're going to pick it up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. That'll definitely be exciting. Get one of those big birds.
I know.
Half as much as
I can't wait. But Winnie
that'd be super
Winnie's
cool.
the more tenacious dog when it comes to fighting a live bird or a winged bird or anything.
Yeah,
she's the one that'll power. I've watched her power right off a winged bird, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah,
it's crazy the different mentalities that dogs possess. Like even just like from mine to Tyler's, and then we just hunted with another buddy this past weekend, Matt, and he has a black lab, and it's just crazy how they're all like Diesel, like you were saying, Winnie. She's more methodical using her nose. Diesel has become that way too. He wins everything. Like he won't run very hard. Nose up, wind in, kind of trots through. Oh, he's on a bird. Like then you can tell it. So instead of going, hell on wheels like they do when they're young, he's now become more methodical in the field. It's cool to watch.
Yeah. So you guys so Minnesota, they started upland season at the beginning of October, mid-October?
Mid-October, yep.
Nice. How has your guys' season started so far?
So we've actually done more of our hunting in South Dakota.
Nice.
So we've It's been good. We
Yeah.
haven't done any fields here in Minnesota yet.
No,
I think usually we try to do some public around here, but
and we do that more late season because then our dogs are prone to burrs.
Oh yeah.
It's a nightmare. So we kind of wait towards the later end of the season. And as I said earlier, I'm a big deer hunter in Wisconsin. So
Okay,
I try to do most of that early on, and then pheasant season runs,
Yep.
first weekend in January. So I do December, and all of December we do pheasant hunting in Minnesota. So
Nice.
Yep.
How many trips out to South Dakota you guys usually take a year?
we
Mm,
average 3,
mhm.
try to hit 4. And our 4th one usually is in January because they extended the season.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
early.
Yep.
And our dogs are cold weather dogs.
Yeah.
Our
Oh, yeah.
dogs will hunt in 0-degree weather, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
We
actually
understand
prefer
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They prefer
Prefer
the
it.
cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When it's
so we-
30 and 40 degrees out, that's almost too warm yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this past weekend we were out and it was 65,
Yeah.
70 at one point.
Yeah.
And our dogs did fine, but I mean, you could just see the difference in
Yep.
their durability throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're hunting at 10 going till dark,
Yep.
and you got 2 little dogs, but they hunted all day. But man, that heat is just hard. It's hard on them.
Yeah, you give them a good break over lunch and they're all right, but
Are they
yeah, it's definitely tough.
hard to see in the grass being as smaller they are, or do they work close enough that you don't really have that issue?
They typically work close enough, but we had an incident this last weekend where Winnie got on a runner, and it was a running rooster, and she got way out there. It just so happened that she went through a clear spot, and I go, oh, she's way out there. And so we just gave her a quick little toot on the whistle, and she came running back.
Nice.
But yeah, typically they stay within the shooting range.
Yeah.
The 20, max 30 yards, depending on the cover. If it's grass, they kind of stretch a little bit. They push the limits, but that's just because it's easier for them to run.
Yeah.
But say if we're in cattails, they're not much more than 10, 15. And typically you can hear them. And, we've also debated on getting, little GPS collars or tracker collars for them, just for that fact. We haven't pulled the trigger on them yet, but we're just, safety issue wise,
Yeah.
they get a little skittish every now and then if they get tangled in the cattails, and we don't know where they are. They don't know where they are. They just
Yeah.
kind of sit down until
Yeah,
we
we bought so Sport Dog has an Upland Hunter collar system that has the locate
Okay.
beeper
Yeah.
on it.
Yep.
Won't hunt without it.
Yeah, we bought those at last year, Nick, I think.
Yeah.
And man, it's so nice. Like there's times we can't see our dogs, and you just hit that locate and you're like, all right, one's over here, the other one's over here, whatnot. And
Yeah.
I've always thought about the GPS just because it'd be cool to see, how many miles they're putting on or
Yeah.
that type of information. But if you're just looking for something to locate your dog somewhere, that Upland Hunter by Sport Dog, it has 2 different loud settings or 2 different beep settings. One's loud, one's medium. And man, you can hear them, they'd be 80 yards out and you can still hear that beep. So
Yeah.
it's super nice to have. And they've honestly started listening to, like, if I beep them,
Mhm.
and I've seen Diesel do it too, where Nick will beep him with that locate button and he'll actually turn around and come
Yeah.
back. So it's
That's what we use with our
Yeah.
Sport Dog collars. There's the beep function
we
on there.
have a tone.
So we just tone 'em.
We tone more than we do anything else if we
Yep.
have to, and then we just, nick them if they don't listen, and that's
Yeah.
not very often anymore. So
yeah.
it's nice. The collar systems that these companies have come out with is
Oh, they're
just
crazy.
crazy.
Which Sport Dog you guys using?
We just have the Sport Hunter. Was it like 1825? We bought the big one just in case we get
Yeah.
a different dog that wants to stretch.
Yeah.
We can still.
I think you
control.
can add that locator to
Okay.
that
We'll have
receiver
to look at
if
that.
I remember right. Especially if you don't have
Yeah,
to.
you just gotta link them like Bluetooth almost.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't remember how the setting is set up on it, but I'm pretty sure you can use it on there.
Awesome.
So, when's your guys' next trip out to South Dakota?
December 7th through the 12th, I think it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, we're just gonna miss you. We come back
Yeah.
December 3rd, December 2nd,
Yeah.
December 3rd.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Right before that weekend.
It's
Yep.
kind of that weekend is kind of our traditional weekend with his Wisconsin friends.
Yeah, so a bunch of my
Right.
buddies from Wisconsin get together out there and we try to have a little fun and shoot some bird.
Yeah. I think I saw last year, is there a certain bar you guys go to or a place you guys stay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we stay, it's called the Bird Dog Inn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Garrett.
Yeah, he's the guy that owns it's actually out there right now, and he's been sending me pictures. Bird numbers are normal or above out there right now around the
Nice.
area we hunt.
Very cool.
But it's in Irwin, South Dakota. And he's originally from Pennsylvania, and he was out there hunting and found a house that was super cheap, and he bought it, and he kind of turned it into a do-it-yourself little hunting place that you can rent. And it's all, mostly public land. There's some farmers around out there that
Yeah.
let you hunt their land and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. So it's like a town of 30 people, and there's a
One
bar,
bar.
a church, and 12 houses.
It's always got to be a bar.
Yeah. So we always go to the bar, and we're always the only ones in there, but the people
Yeah.
are super nice, and we get to just have a good time and let loose. So it's a lot of fun. So
Mhm.
That is awesome.
So I see that's on, well, I won't have people can look up Irwin, but I see that's on kind of the southeast side of South Dakota.
It would be more north.
well, it would
North of
be,
Brookings.
Yeah, east central, I would say.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
So it's about an hour if you go. It's about an hour west of Brookings.
yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
nice.
So yeah.
So what's a couple of your favorite stories with both Rhett and Winnie? Give us separate ones.
All right. So we had a hunt in October. We went out there. It was the second weekend of pheasant season in South Dakota, and we were on some private land with a friend of her dad's, and there was a cattail slough down this hill, and we were lining up. We had our blockers lined up on this, and we were just going to walk the edge of the cattails through this grass to a shelter belt, through the shelter belt. So we had our blockers ended up on the end of the shelter belt, and he's like, all right, I want you with a dog to go down by the cattails. So I took both our dogs because she wasn't even carrying a gun.
I was just taking pictures.
She's like, I'm going to
Nice.
carry a camera this one, and because we don't ever have an opportunity to do that either. It's always phone or whatever. And whenever I don't ever carry a phone or a camera, because whenever I pull it out, something flushes and then I miss it and I drop my phone, I lose it. So I was like, all right, I'll take the dogs down. Rhett loves thick cover. Winnie's not a huge fan of it. She'll do it if you're in it with her. So I was sending Rhett in and out of this cattails, and it erupted. Erupted. Like it was a late season. I thought it was late season, but it was the second weekend of the season, and there was birds everywhere, hens, roosters. I was shooting my semi-auto like a single shot.
Trying to reload.
And I knocked a couple down in the cattails, and we had 3 or 4 dogs, including ours, and they were just in and out looking for these birds, and we just let them hunt and hunt and hunt. And I was like, I know where the one landed, so I started walking, but then I hit water. So I'm like, I'm backing out of here because I've done that rodeo before.
Yeah,
That's
Tyler
not
has
fun.
too.
So I got another one for you after this one, but I'll let her tell hers. So anyways, we got going, and we just let the dogs hunt and hunt and hunt. And Rhett finally, he came out, he had a feather in his mouth. I don't know where he got that. He sat down next to me. He's like, I think I got it. I'm like, no, buddy, you don't have the bird. And then all of a sudden Winnie comes just struggling through the cattails. And we ended up finding both of them. But
Nice.
this one, I thought, because I didn't think I knocked her down hard, so I thought it was still maybe alive. But I think it just got tangled up enough to where it slowed it down, and then she caught it. But it was a good search, about 10 minutes. And that was probably one of my coolest memories of her, because it was muddy. It was thick, and she doesn't like thick. So for her to go in there and hunt an area as long as she did,
Yeah.
really, really made me happy. And I was super pumped when she came out. And I don't think Jamie believed me when I told her about it. But we ended up getting a video of her coming out of the cattails, and it was super cool.
Oh.
Nice.
So do you feel like the bird numbers in South Dakota are, based on your first trip there, good?
I think this year, and from what we've talked to people and like her uncles and stuff who live out there still, they think it's going to be more affected next year
Mhm.
because of the drought this year.
Oh,
And that's just because the food and the cover throughout the summer wasn't as ample as it normally is. So I think the broods on the hens,
Got hit pretty hard.
hit hard this year
Mhm.
compared to years past. So I don't think as many chicks lived, but we'll see. You know, what I mean, that seems to be the tendency on people we've talked to out there. I mean, but as of right now, the numbers are
Pretty good.
good,
Yeah.
if not better than last year that we've seen.
Do you guys,
Nice.
can I ask, do you hunt private, public?
Most, I would say both,
Both.
50-50.
Depends on the trip and who we're with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Jamie, what's one of your favorite
Oh,
stories?
yeah. So, well, mine was with Rhett. This was my first waterfowl hunt, and that was special for me because I'd never done it before. But basically, we're going into this waterfowl hunt. I'm asking a million questions because I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, we're doing ground blinds, never been in a ground blind before in my life. And we had spent this probably 2 months before it really working with Rhett on the blind, being stable and steady and not breaking. And so I was, when we were the morning of, we were going to go out, I was like in pure anxiety mode because I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not going to do good. This is going to be embarrassing. And I was like, I don't know if we should hunt him. And he's like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just chill out. I'm like, okay, fine. We get out there and I'm still like, maybe we should leave him in the truck. He's like, no, we'll be good. I'm like, okay. So we get out there, we get in the ground blinds, and he gets in his little hut, and thankfully he's not carrying a gun, so he can just run Rhett. But it was so cool. The birds came in, I got to shoot. It was my bird that Rhett retrieved, but he stayed steady. He didn't break. He waited till he was called to go, went out and got the bird and came back. And it was like, okay, this is pretty sweet. Because I think for us, it was the accumulation of all the work, and you guys know all the work you do with your dogs and the time you spend, and you go out in the field and maybe it doesn't go exactly the way you want it to, but that was the
Seems
best.
to happen almost every time we go hunting. Never happens how I think it should.
yeah,
But I mean,
Damn
like
it
they always
anyhow.
say, you can never train for the live situation, right? You
No,
never can.
true.
And, I mean, this dog's not used to 30 birds coming at him at once, or
Multiple
birds
guns
that
going
fly
off.
by him that are too far to shoot. And he's looking at us like, why aren't you shooting? Like, what's going on here? I mean, he's conditioned to upland hunting. Birds come
Hell.
in, you chase them.
We're not used to 30 birds coming at us here in Iowa either. It's just usually singles.
I mean, I've been to
Yeah.
Iowa, so.
Yeah. yeah. That
There's
sounds
some
like-
decent
sounds like
parts of the
Minnesota.
state. There's some
Yeah.
decent parts. We
Yeah.
got into them last weekend.
Oh
but
God, yeah. There is more than 30 birds in that field that we had. It was
it's actually
fun.
a
It was
good
crazy.
field.
And
Yeah.
how many dropped?
Oh, we got six.
The limit.
Yeah.
All right,
limit our round.
there you go, boys.
And we didn't lose one bird. We
Yeah,
ended up
that's
getting
awesome.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's always successful. It's nice when you 6 up, 6 down.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
And we
That's-
got a woodcock that day too, so that was pretty neat.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I've
guys-
yet to shoot one. I've seen
wondering.
them a whole bunch while I've been hunting, and it never clicks what it is until it's by me, and I'm like, there it
Yeah.
is. There
Well,
was
I
my
saw-
chance.
Tyler actually yelled. Did you shoot too, Tyler?
I
can't
did.
remember if you shot.
Well, yeah, I
I
yelled.
think you
'cause I was like,
shot, then you
I think it's a
yelled like,
woodcock.
I think it's woodcock, and then I looked at it, and then I shot it.
Yeah, they're neat little birds.
Yeah, big old beak
Yeah.
on them.
Big
Yeah.
old beak, yeah. Looks like
Yeah.
a hummingbird.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah. An overgrown hummingbird. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys have a few trips planned for the rest of the season. Are you going anywhere outside of South Dakota? Are you gonna
Not-
come to Iowa this year?
Not this year.
Well, maybe we would. I don't
Yeah.
know. We need
Well,
an invite.
Yeah. Is there, I don't know much about Iowa besides it's really good deer hunting, but that's hard to do. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to get on
Yeah.
private ground deer
Yeah,
hunting.
deer hunting is
You're-
like it's
like sacred around
yeah,
here.
it's sacred
Yeah.
around here.
That's what we've heard.
but-
I think the bird numbers in Iowa this year are actually very good. Just from what the the few public grounds that we've been on, we've capitalized and seen good bird numbers, and then the private ground that we've had is really good. Like you talked about South Dakota having the drought, and we had a drought this year, but it didn't come until like later in the summer. So I think we had enough rain and crop growth and cover to support the broods. So I mean, I think we're gonna, in the grass this year is like I've gone to a few public places. I went last year and gone there this year, and the grass this year is like way over top my head, and it's super thick. So I mean, it sucks for hunting purposes, but for bird cover, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna, right now it's kind of tough to know for sure how great, can't say great, but great the bird numbers are, because there still are a lot of crops in around here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've only been on one. Well, I guess you went to two. I've only been on one public ground, and we got 3 roosters off it and the woodcock off the public. But everywhere we've hunted so far this year, we've had private ground.
Yeah.
I think too, just the conservation efforts that really, mainly in South Dakota, that's just because I know it, but that they've done to really maintain and acquire more habitat, I think is what's going to help bolster up the rooster and pheasant population and hunting in South Dakota. I mean, that's their main revenue for income is that sport.
Oh yeah,
and,
for sure.
You know,
and you got the governor that loves going out.
I mean, you got her out there with a Boss shotgun hat on and walking out with roosters out of a field. I mean, that's our governor.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, we've actually thought about coming up to Minnesota. Because the southwest part has a decent amount of public ground access there. And we've heard that, I mean, it's not South Dakota numbers and North Dakota numbers, but I have heard that the public land numbers there are actually pretty decent.
Yeah, so this year it sounds like the roadside counts and everything were way up from last year, especially down in the southwest side, from what I've been reading. And I think that is, and we drive down to Albert Lee and then over on 90, and you see public land along the interstate, and it's all Pheasants Forever owned land. So I think Pheasants Forever in Minnesota is doing a lot. And then, the Flush is here, Minnesota Bound. You have all these TV shows that are based out of Minnesota that are big upland shows or people that do it. And so I think the exposure really helps as well, because people are starting to say, hey, this is another way to draw people to our state other than the pro sports teams or whatever else they come here for. And to my opinion, it's good. It's good. And it's cool to see and just drive around, the dirt roads out there and see the public access just grow and grow and grow, and see a bird fly in there and try to go get it, and
that's literally what we did last year.
We love that just as much as seeing 200 birds in a field by Aberdeen. We were talking to someone not too long ago, and like, how do you like pheasant hunting? Well, we love pheasant hunting. We love seeing birds. We love shooting birds, but we also love
the grind
of it, to where you walk, 10, 12 miles a day and shoot one bird. But the dogs have a good time and they love what they're doing. And to us, that makes a hunt more than a limit some days, and that's why we do it.
It's funny you say that, because Nick and I literally just had, so we got our limit on Saturday, and we literally just had this same type of conversation of, if we went out every time and limited out, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm always limited out. But the fact that you get, you have to work for them, you have, your hunts don't go perfectly as planned. You have birds flush wild, blah, blah, blah. That's what brings you back. It's, and the dogs are learning, you're working, it's all that stuff. But if you went out and you knew you're going to limit out in 2 hours every time, it's like, what's the fun in this? You know?
Exactly.
Now what do I do?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
had a whole day planned, and now
It's
I
gotta
got
better go drink a
6
bunch of
more
Busch
hours
Lights.
of the
That's what we do in Iowa, drink Busch Lights, I guess. Well, Nick likes
Yeah,
Coors,
I'm
but
doing that right now for the farmers.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
You know, and something else that we we were super patient this past weekend.
Yep.
We didn't kill ourselves, we didn't kill our dogs, and everything just, I don't know. It was just something how it all kind of fell into place. Because
Yep.
normally, like you said, we'll go hit one field, hit another field, hit another field, hit another field. Well, it just turned out that it was like, oh, we actually gave our dogs about a 3-hour break midday, getting into this farmer's field and stuff, and then went in and got them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty neat. We sat in the farmer's cornfield. So he had got, I don't know, probably an acre left of corn to pick, maybe a little more than that. And then, but his switchgrass that he had budded right up to the corn that he had to pick. So it was kind of like, you know, we were thinking of when we got out there, we were like, well, let's go see where the field is. So Nick was actually drove around and he saw 4 birds fly into the corn that wasn't picked. And we're like, all right, well, we better just sit here and wait, you know? And so it took him a while to get through it because they had a really bad windstorm this summer. So a lot of the corn was laying flat. But the last pass that he was going towards the switchgrass field, guy, but there was 50, 60 birds that just came flushing out the end. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. You know, and they all went right into that switchgrass, and it's about a 40-acre plot.
Yep.
So we didn't really have to work super hard for those birds, which is kind of nice.
We did not pay for these birds. They were all wild.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was pretty awesome just seeing them all, you know, kind of like a painting, you know, where you see the combine and the birds flushing up around it and whatnot. It was pretty neat to see. I've never seen that many birds come out from around the combine, and
you know, and then, you know, we waited to hunt that field, and the farmer offered for us to ride on the combine or stand at the end of the corn and shoot them as they come out. And we said, no, I said, we're going to work our dogs and we're going to hunt them.
Yeah.
He actually gave us a really good compliment. He goes, most people that would, you know, he said he doesn't let a lot of people hunt, but he's like, if I'm doing this, they do want to just sit on the combine. They don't actually want to hunt. Yeah, they do.
The easy way.
Instead of going in, getting your dogs work and doing it the right way. So I mean, if we would have came out of there and saw all their birds and not got them all, well, I mean, that's just what it is.
Try again the next day.
Now it comes down to the shooter, not the dogs.
That's right.
Well, Tyler didn't even shoot on Saturday, so that's probably why we limited out.
I don't even know. I pulled the trigger once on the woodcock and I missed.
All right.
Yep.
So
I tell you, we got into some Huns in South Dakota that first time we were
nice.
telling you about, and I tell you, the speed that they fly compared to a pheasant, I was way behind. And I go, man, I used to shoot grouse. I shoot grouse all the time, like rough grouse. I'm like, dang, these things are fast. Took me a few to figure it out. But I got my first hunt on that South Dakota trip too, so that was kind of cool. So,
we got our first hunt last year in Iowa. I didn't even know what the hell it was at first.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even know if we should shoot, but we knew that it made a noise, and we're like, what? Huh? And then we shot it. Because I kind of thought it was a pigeon or something coming up out of it. Right. And I ended up getting it.
Quick
Like,
look
oh,
it up.
hey.
All right, I'm need to go. But no,
So Jamie, did you you grew up in South Dakota? Did you hunt birds before you two met, or?
Not as much as I do now. When I was younger, I was an athlete. So I spent every spring, summer at the soccer field, and then I spent every fall, winter at an ice rink. So I never had time. I would do it with friends, you know, here and there. The big thing we would do would be road hunting, because you can legally road hunt in South Dakota.
Yep.
So that's where that's where I learned to shoot shotgun, you know, running around on dirt roads on the back of pickups. And then got to college, you know, college athlete. That was pretty much my life. And then after college ended, it kind of felt like I needed a new hobby and something to do. And I knew I wanted a dog and met him, and then the pieces just kind of fell together that he wanted a bird
Is
dog.
he
and
the
a
dog
hunt.
you're looking for, or is that something else?
I mean, there's an end to a means here. But it just kind of worked out. And now like I said, I'm addicted. I love doing it. I mean, if he's working a weekend, I'll grab the 2 dogs. We'll run over to some public land that's close to our house and just
Nice.
try our luck. And I'll just run around with the dogs for a little bit and try to shoot some birds. So I love doing it. I would do it every weekend if I could.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
One of these days, we're all gonna get just paid to hunt. That's what's gonna happen. It's my dream, right?
That's my retirement plan.
Yep. That's why Cranbrook is starting, right?
Yes.
That's kind
So
of
I think maybe you guys said it. Where did the name Cranbrook
So
start at?
that's the street we live on
Okay.
here. And then the Oaks. So my hunting cabin in Northwest Wisconsin is called Twin Oaks. So then there's a bunch of like twin oak trees, white oak trees that drop acorns. It's crazy in the fall. But so we kind of took where we live now and a piece of my past and my hunting growing up and put it together as Cranbrook Oaks.
Nice.
And then the American Water Spaniels.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be that creative to
It
come up with
means
that.
something, like it's cool to have little pieces of history, I think anyways.
Yeah.
So have you completely changed subject? So have you gone deer hunting yet this year?
I have not actually gone deer hunting. My dad has been sending me pictures of deer. He goes, you should have been up here this weekend. And I was in South Dakota. And you should have been up here. The rut's hard, and pictures of deer. No, but our gun season starts a week from Saturday. So
Oh wow.
I'll go back to that. And then maybe do a little late season bow hunting, depending on pheasant trips or,
Yep.
pub hunting around here. But
Yeah.
this year's been a little slower year, just with work opening back up a little bit. And just, we've had a few more bird trips planned with the dog. Right now, that kind of takes our priority, which I'm not mad about, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I mean, just taking your dog out and just hunting with them. I mean, I used to bow hunt and all that stuff too, but I don't do it anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the dog out, and I'd rather do that any day.
Yeah. And one of our weekends was occupied with bear hunting.
Yeah,
So
Oh
we did that.
man, how'd that
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, good. So, well, we in Wisconsin, it's a lottery system. So we both ended up drawing this year.
Oh, nice.
And that it was a little bit of a fiasco with both of us having tags. But I have a buddy who has hounds that we run the bear with the hounds. And so that is a lot of fun to watch a different style of dog hunt. So like he'll find like a 12-hour-old track and he'll put a dog on the track and it'll just run the track. And all of a sudden it'll switch flips and it starts barking and goes, oop, he's on the bear. And we're like, huh? He's like, yeah, it's on the bear. And then it just chase it until either catch it on the ground or goes in a tree. And then you go look at it. If you want to shoot it, then you decide if you want to shoot it. So she actually got to pull the trigger this year. It was a slower year for that for whatever reason. I think the acorns fell, so they weren't hitting like the bait that they put out to find the tracks. They weren't hitting the bait as well as they normally do because the acorns fell, so it was a little harder to find. But she got to experience her first bear kill.
Yeah,
and it was fun. It was fun, and normally I would have taken it away from her, but it was I wanted to be there and I had to work the next weekend. We were able to go up there, so I wanted to be there when she shot her first bear.
Nice.
So I let her shoot.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, that was nice, yeah. Brownie
Yeah.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try when I can.
Did you shoot it out of the tree or was it on the ground?
Out of the tree.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
What type of rifle you guys are you using a rifle? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yep.
a Tika firearm.
Yeah, she has a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
good
and
shot.
I shoot a 270 that I actually won at a Ducks Unlimited banquet when I
Man,
was
can't beat
16.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
But so we try
What
to diversify our hunts as
Yep.
much as
Yeah.
we can.
What type of dogs are they running for bears? Is
so
it
he
only
has-
one?
Yeah, so he has tree walkers and plots.
Mhm.
Say that again.
So he has walkers, treeing walkers, and then plot hounds.
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, and then he's had a few oopses in the kennel behind the house, so he has mixture of both. But he
Yeah.
likes the mixture. So
But it's fun to watch different style of dogs
Yep.
doing what they're bred
Oh
to
yeah.
do.
yeah,
I
so
mean,
like
these dogs will run 15 miles for one bear.
yeah, so like the
and it's
the
nuts.
plots are runners. And so they just run and run and run and run. And then obviously the treeing dogs are a little slower, a little more methodical, use their nose to find the track. And then they really get on it at the end when it gets tired and put it up the tree and keep it up the tree.
Mhm.
So
Are they similar to like coon hounds
yep,
Yep.
build?
yep,
Okay.
yep, build wise, yeah. So he actually has, I think his girlfriend just got a red coon hound
Yep.
or
Mhm.
something, yeah. So that'll be in the pack this fall. So it'll be fun to see that little dog run.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So
That
any
is-
other
That is interesting.
yeah. So you got bear, pheasant, deer, anything else in the future that you guys want to go after?
My dream hunt would be I would say an elk hunt wherever in the West, but I would also like moose in Alaska or
That'd be cool.
Yukon.
And I want to go to Texas and do sandhill cranes. I think
Ooh,
that'd
Yeah.
be,
You can go
That'd
to
be
Canada.
awesome.
You can do those in Canada too, I believe.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'd be super fun to do a sandhill crane.
Yeah.
I've heard they're the ribeye of the skies. They
Yeah,
That's
taste
what we
so
heard,
good.
That's what I've heard. And everywhere
they-
I see them, they're on the endangered species list everywhere I see them. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so they're protected in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I'm not sure about Minnesota, but yeah.
I did not know that they were protected throughout the.
Depends on
mean,
the, yeah, it depends
Yeah,
on the
so
state.
the state of Wisconsin has them protected, so you can't shoot them.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know, like, when I seen people hunting them with dogs, they always have the dogs wear the rec specs because they'll
Yep.
freaking gouge
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
Yeah,
gouge
Yeah.
their heads.
I heard they're mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
mean
Like
things.
dogs have been killed by them from
Yeah.
Yeah,
like live ones trying to fight them.
yeah,
Really?
Crazy ass birds.
Yeah.
That's for
they're
sure.
huge.
Well, yeah, their beaks, they're
Yeah,
Yeah,
yay
They're like-
long.
they're like mini dinosaurs in the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It'd be fun. It would be fun though.
That would be a lot of fun. Texas
also
has some
think-
pretty cool stuff.
I also think the mallards in the timber of Arkansas would be a really fun hunt too.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be
that
really
would be
cool.
really cool.
So, I mean, we have a few on the list there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
for sure. For sure. So,
Iowa at some point now that we've
Yeah.
talked to you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I know that we always tell people we want to get a hunt in, but doesn't seem like anybody wants to make their way up here
Oh,
or
we
down
will.
here, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, we
well,
will. We
it's-
road trip.
Yeah, it's only a couple of hours from here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that
Yeah.
ain't bad.
no.
Yeah. We could probably go up to the northwest corner up where there's a lot. That's Spencer, Iowa.
Yeah, that's probably the best
Probably
hunting
be
in
the best
Iowa is
spot
up
to
that
go.
way.
So you take 90 over, then drop down.
Yep.
Mhm.
You guys would
I'm from
be-
Sioux Falls, so
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
I've skirted
right
the
there.
Iowa corner a couple times.
Haven't stayed for long.
Yeah, there's a casino there.
There is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, well, we appreciate you both of you for
Yeah,
coming on to
thank
the
you very much.
podcast, talking about your dogs, obviously your hunts that you guys are going to want to do. Definitely very interesting. I love watching those little dogs work and getting to learn a little bit more about them and where they came from and whatnot. So hopefully all your health checks pass
Yeah.
for all of them and you guys are able to get your kennel potentially going. And
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to send them our way.
yeah, for
Well,
sure.
We're on Instagram all the time. Well,
Okay.
mainly Jamie,
Yeah.
but I try to do my best to be on there. But we can answer questions if anyone that you know has any or anything
Okay.
like that.
Yeah,
So,
for
Yeah.
sure.
don't be-
Yeah, because
don't be shy.
we don't know anything about them, so
Nope.
we will definitely send them your way.
Perfect.
But again, we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very
Always
much.
flush them and dust them.
Yeah.
Have a good night,
Nice.
guys. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Bye.